all, welcome or welcome back to my channel, Being Louisa. So today's video is going to be what I imagine my career as a midwife to be. And it's also going to be sponsored by nurses.co.uk. They are an online website where you can look at all things nursing, from jobs to their blog posts where they tell you how-tos and give you advice and kind of like let you know what it's like to be a nurse, and also how it's like to be a student nurse. Some of you guys may be like, well, you're a student midwife, why are you talking about this? Well, come on guys, as I always say, I think I've said this like a gajillion times now, skills are transferable. All skills are transferable. I use my skill of working in a children's shoe shop from the age of 15 to 18 as a great quality on my resume, okay? Like, to get into midwifery, all skills are transferable. So yeah, and then they also do have a small section about midwifery, which is starting to expand with us. So yeah, so let's start this video. What do I imagine my career as a midwife to be? Let's do this chronologically and from like realistic to my absolute dream. So realistically, I actually qualify next year. Like, what? I qualify next year. In the year 2020 I qualify. So technically it's a year and 9 months away, but still it's next year. So weird to say that now that it's the new year. So yeah, I qualify next year, but I graduate the year after because that's just how my uni does it. Lord willing, I'll be working probably the November of next year. That's so weird. So here in London, most hospitals, most trusts have a preceptorship year. That's usually band 5 pay grade in the NHS. However, some hospitals do pay you band 6 pay grade in the NHS. You really got to look at the preceptorships and what they offer and what they expect you to know, what skills they expect you to have to make sure it's the right one for you. But yeah, so I expect to I'll be doing my preceptorship year definitely here, and I don't know what hospital yet because I just don't know. It's a lot of pressure. Yeah, I'm just still trying to like figure out my life. But yeah, so obviously it depends on, I probably will be staying in London, even though I have said a bunch of times in my other videos that I'm not the biggest fan of London, but it's just because I want to make as much money as quickly as possible so I can save as much as possible so that I can move countries and also volunteer abroad. So yeah, I have a plan. So I expect I'm gonna be a hospital midwife for the first year because not a lot of trusts will let you be a community midwife. So I'll be a hospital midwife for about a year and a bit. It depends on like my preceptorship and where I'm at and what they allow. And then I will, hopefully, God willing, if I stay here for 2 years after I qualify, I will then hopefully transfer over onto community team or onto a continuity team, because they're all being established now in a lot of trusts around London because of the Midwifery 2020. Hold on, actually I was wrong. It's actually because of the Better Birth report. So a lot of the continuity teams are being established. I remember last year when I went to the maternity and midwifery festival, they were talking about how they're all getting established in different boroughs, or different areas, regions, trusts. Yeah, they go by like areas, so they're all getting like established around London, so that's really cool. Or I'll be on a home birth team. I would love to be on a home birth team. I probably might not be on a home birth team because that might be like a lot of pressure, but like that's the same thing as continuity. So the continuity teams, I believe how they work is that they are basically like community teams, but they also do have some shifts on the ward, so that might be a nice way to ease into being a community midwife. Who knows? So that's kind of like my ideal for my second year and like continuing on. That's like the right realistic ideal anyway. So that's kind of that plan. Now I hope to sometime in the future, probably the following year, but it just depends on finances and God. But I plan to volunteer abroad. I've always wanted to volunteer abroad. I mean, from the youngest of age, I just always, like, my desire has always been to give back. I have never done it yet. So I do it like the small ways, but not in the big ways that I dream of doing it. That's just hasn't happened yet, but it will happen because that's just on my heart and it's something I always want to do. But I've always wanted to like go around the world and learn new cultures, and that's just a thing about me. I love to learn things and like different ways to do things. So I really do want to volunteer abroad somewhere or work abroad for a bit somewhere. That'd be amazing. And then also, guys, there's so many levels to how I think my career is gonna go. But yeah, so lastly, The one that's always been like a dream, like something that I probably won't get to, but now that I'm getting closer and closer, I'm actually getting scared. I don't know if any of you guys understand what I mean. Like, I don't know if any of you guys have felt that, but when you like try and you fail, and you try and you fail, and you try and you fail, so you think that when you try next time it's not gonna happen, but then actually it does happen, and you get closer and closer to like that end goal, that end dream. It just gets scarier and scarier. Like, I don't know how to explain this, but I have always had a dream of moving abroad and living abroad somewhere, like immigrating and like relocating to a different country. Like, I have a country in mind, I'm not gonna say it, but the Lord knows and everyone around me knows I've always wanted to live in this place. It depends on when I get into the bridging course, which is like a conversion course, so that my degree actually is valid there and so that like my qualification as a midwife is valid there. So it depends on when I get into that, and then obviously start working there and living there. And there, that midwifery is different to how it is. No, it's like similar but also different. It depends on where you go in the country. But what I'm thinking, where I'm leaning towards going, I'm not quite sure, I have no idea where I want to go, but where I'm leaning towards, it's very much how I've always envisioned and imagined midwifery to be. It's very much, you're not based in a hospital, you're based out of a hospital, but you do have hospital privileges, and then you are basically running your own practice and you're working in a small team, and it's just like, you know what I mean, like it's one of those things of, it's very autonomous. Like, it's how midwifery is said to be here, but it's autonomous here but in a different way to how it's autonomous there. And yeah, so it's really cool. Like, you'll be working in a smaller team and you'll be following these women from booking up until 6 weeks postnatal, I believe it is, something like that. So it's like a really long period, and you're following that same woman the whole entire way through. And you're gonna have a whole bunch of women like that. It's basically case loading, and that's kind of always been my dream. And I know a lot of people are a bit iffy about it because of being on call, and people are like, if you have a family it's really hard. Well, when the Lord blesses me with a man, he best know that these women are important. I'm joking, but like, you know what I mean, like it's just something that you just have to work out with your other half, and or with your children, depends on if you're a single parent. Like, it's something you've got to work out, like they've got to understand and you've got to understand. Like, there is a give and take. It's a lot, but it's something I'm super excited about. Like, continuity is just something I talk about quite a bit on these videos, and it's something that I absolutely want to strive for. Like, if I can have anything, even if I don't end up moving to the country that I want to move to and into like a little cute small town like I want to, like even if I stay here in England, like that's what I want. Like, that's how I want my career to be. I want it to be continuity based. I want to be able to be like, I know this woman, like, you know what I mean, like I want her to have a look on her face and me be like, I know exactly what she needs or what she wants, or you know what I mean, when she's in labor. Or even anytime, like I want to be able to say I booked her, I was with her for all of her appointments, even on times where she didn't have an appointment but she needed to talk to me, I was there, I answered her phone call. Like, I want to be there when she's giving birth. Even if I'm not there when she's giving birth, I just want to be able to see her afterwards. But it'd be amazing if I can be there when she's giving birth, because we have such a good connection, we have such a good relationship that it's helpful instead of harmful. Like, I want to be that midwife. But yeah, so that's kind of how I see my future as a midwife to be. Basically continuity. Like, that is my dream. My goal is continuity. I want to be a continuity midwife. Like, I want to be a case loading midwife, or just a regular midwife in the country that I want to move to, because it's basically like a case loading midwife. I just want to be able to say I know this woman, and like I've known this woman throughout her whole pregnancy, when she's giving birth, and after she's given birth. And I want her to be able to be like, when she comes back, well, with her subsequent pregnancy, I want her to be like, I would like Louisa because she was amazing my first pregnancy and I want that again. And I want to be like, yes. Yeah, I want to be very much like that. I want to be very natural with the way I do things, and kind of going with the woman's body, learning acupuncture, learning aromatherapy, learning hypnobirthing. Those are the things that I really want to do, because it just all go into my portfolio of me and my portfolio of being a midwife. So yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I want to challenge you. How do you guys see or want your future career to be like? Let me know in the comments below, because it'll be awesome and interesting to see. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and until next time, keep on being you. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, comment down below with any questions or suggestions, and don't forget to subscribe to get weekly updates. Bye!